welcome. Take It Up with Jessica Lee. I'm here with Bill Zajac, who is the Regional Director of Solution Engineering at Dynatrace. Hi, Bill.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Jessica.
I'm glad that you're here. We're going to talk about the monitoring of critical applications for businesses, mostly retailers who have really important businesses online, right?
Yeah, and it's really expanded out to any real company that has any sort of end users that need these digital assets to be able to work effectively as well, too.
Okay, so Dynatrace went public last year.
Yes,
Congratulations.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about what you do as the Regional Director of Solutions Engineering.
Yeah, so solution engineering at Dynatrace really is that counterpart to the field sales team, where it's our job to go in there with the account executives and be able to showcase Dynatrace, the product, in a demonstrations point of view, as well as if the customer is interested to see the product inside their environment, we handle a lot of the proof of concept aspects as well. So we ultimately are the ones that validate that the technology is going to work inside of the customer's environment and prove what all the sales guys are saying is possible.
So you also have to demo, convince them that this is worthwhile to even spend more time and do a proof of concept after that.
Correct. And the goal is really to have them touch it, feel it, see it, just to make sure that it is something that is going to be of value for them if they do make an investment inside of Dynatrace.
Okay, so let's pick a client that you actually work on, say U-Haul, right?
Yeah.
Tell us how you've made an impact for them in their transformation.
Yeah, so U-Haul is a well-known brand, really in the whole moving space. They have a lot of different centers where people are able to go in and check out trucks and move across the country. It's a really highly critical thing for them to be able to get these people out of the door and get them into trucks. So when they have issues or interruptions of service from their point of sale systems inside of their environment, it is pretty impactful to their overall bottom line. They have a really critical season coming up here, which is the summertime, and that's when a lot of people are moving around. So Dynatrace is really that lens of visibility that allows them to get that first response to be able to determine, is business being able to operate as normal? And if there is some sort of impact to that user experience or to those point of sale systems, well, what is the overall impact? Is it just one store? Is it all stores? Is it certain users who are trying to get certain trucks checked out? And then when there are these impactful events, what caused it? Was it a server that was over capacity? Was it a new deployment change that happened? Was it some sort of networking issue that happened? So the goal of this is to be able to quickly isolate and understand when problems are happening in real time, and then also helping the team be able to fix it with giving them the right data at the right time as well.
Okay, excellent. No wonder you have so many clients. I want to turn to something a bit more personal in your career journey, because I think that's a relevant topic to these days where things are automated. People talk about AI and automating, and a lot of people are concerned about their jobs, right? If your task that you do is being automated, will you have a job? Right? And you went through this journey.
I did. So I've been with Dynatrace for a while, since 2011, and actually this is my second tour of duty. When I first was working with the technology in the company, we had a prior version of our solution that I was an expert in. I knew how to install the tool, configure the tool, read the data that the tool was providing, and then provide insights based off of what that tool was telling me. Back in 2014, the company saw the industry changing. They saw a lot of new cloud technologies being adopted, and the pace of innovation was just rapidly being increased throughout all industries. So the company decided to build a brand new platform from the ground up. And the core tendencies of that new platform was it was going to be easy to install, it was going to be easy to configure, it was going to be easy to administrate, and it was going to provide those answers as opposed to just data points. So when I took a look at what my responsibilities or what I thought my responsibilities were as an SE versus what this platform was going to be providing in an automated world, there was really two things that came across my mind. Is I doubted it. I said, no way, not going to happen. The company is not going to be able to create this thing that does so many AI-driven focused event learning aspects and then be able to provide the root cause of these large-scale issues. And then the second thing that crossed my mind was, well, if the company does pull this off, I feel like I no longer have any responsibilities at the company. My whole value prop, I thought, was I was a good expert in the tool and I could manage and maintain that tool, where now the new platform did all of those things in an automated fashion. So it scared me to the point where I jumped ship and went to a startup for a little bit. thankfully, I have a really great manager, Philippe, at Dynatrace, who after I had my 1-year sabbatical at the startup, he called me back and asked me if I wanted to be the regional director for solution engineers after he was able to talk through a couple of the testimonials and the stories and in how our customers were maturing, how our conversations with customers were maturing, and how our solution engineering team was maturing as well.
So what you're saying is that in the end, Dynatrace did deliver on the promise of a greater product.
It did.
And and at the same time, you have discovered that you weren't replaced. You were just elevated to a new role.
Yeah. And the conversations I'm having now with customers and prospects are much more personally fulfilling and enriching as opposed to having a monitoring tools conversation. We're talking about transformation initiatives with our customers. So I think that there is a lot of sometimes scaring that happens with some of these transformation projects because people are like me sitting back saying, well, if these things actually do take off, what am I going to do here at the organization? What am I going to do after this cloud migration happens? So I think it's very important that companies really do set that vision of, hey, we're going to be making this journey. It's going to be better for us as an organization, but it is going to be better for you as an individual because these are what we're going to be having you do in the future as well, too.
You are actually much happier now.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I guess I couldn't help but thinking, well, maybe it would have been really good if you had shared honestly your concern about the personal job security.
Yeah, and I think that it's an open and candid relationship that you have to have with your manager. I have a very great relationship with Philippe. Had one then, but I think that this whole process has brought us as a team closer together as well. So I think there's a lot of people who are taking a look at some of these initiatives that are happening within their company and they view themselves as a certain role and set of responsibilities, and there probably is some concerns that they have in the back of their mind of, if these projects are successful, then what do I do?
Right. And automation is ongoing. Even now, I'm sure, at Dynatrace, there's always a push for further automation, right?
It's fun being on this side of the fence because we talk to a lot of organizations that are trying to do more features, better releases, and faster cycles as well when it comes to those features. Dynatrace itself is doing 26 releases per year. We are a sprint release organization. So when you're the first technical face that the customer sees and there's always new features and functionalities being brought into the product, there's a lot of times in our demos that there's a new button that shows up or a new feature that shows up, and it's the first time we're seeing it. So we click on it and see what it does. So I think that there's that aspect of it as well too, is it does require you to be a constant learner of not only what are these new things that are being injected into your daily life, but how do you best take advantage of them? What is the new value that you can be generating from these new functions as well?
And even in the way that you add demo to prospects, there's automation in like simulated demos.
Yeah. So we're a firm believer in that the technology is best in class. So the first time that as a sales engineer or solution engineer gets in front of a customer, we show them a demo environment where it's a simple travel application, shows some simulated problems where in the back end we're breaking things, we're kicking over servers and showing them the impact. And then our challenge to the customer is, hey, the platform is easy, the platform is meant to be automated and be rolled out in an efficient manner. Go install it. Let's probably not go into a production environment and break something, but maybe they have a load test or a QA environment that they can actually go inject some of these problem patterns and see if the solution is actually picking it up for them in their customized environment.
I want to thank you for being on the show, Bill, and sharing your personal journey, which I think a lot of people out there are concerned about job security when it comes to automation.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you sharing that story.
Yeah, thank you. And it's I'm originally from the Midwest, so the analogy that I tend to really highlight with our account teams is we have a new trend going on within our industry, and a lot of the times when we're talking to the teams that we typically interact with, it's like we're going to a manufacturing plant in the 90s, and we're talking to all these workers who have been turning bolts and screwing in things their whole career, and we're showing them a robot. We're showing them something that when they look at it and their tasks, it can do it more efficiently, can do it more effectively, and a lot of these people need to really see what that vision is. Okay, well, what am I going to do tomorrow when this robot gets turned on? And that's a challenge for all of us inside the industry that we really need to help paint that vision for our customers and prospects, and also the engineers that are on the ground floor.
Yes, so I guess lessons learned is be open and talk about the concerns and look for opportunities to take on new roles.
Exactly.
Because I think there are new jobs with every change, right? There are certain automations that's happening, but there opens up new opportunities too.
Yeah, and again, just reflecting back on the years, I feel like my conversations have been much more enriching and fulfilling. And I'm not saying I was bored before, but I feel like it is an iterative improvement process, and I've been really happy with the journey so far.
There you have it, Bill Zajac, Regional Director of Solutions Engineering from Dynatrace.
Thank you, Jessica. Yeah.